Alright, so this is Ron, Gunmaker Dude. Just wanted to run a little check. My paperweight customers have been kind of calling me, and we've been talking about, checking the AR-15s out for safety, and after they've been assembled, because a lot of these gentlemen have never assembled an AR-15 before. You can also use this series of safety checks just to be sure that any AR-15 that you're thinking about buying has been assembled properly and is functioning properly. First of all, I wanted to identify the parts that we're going to be talking about. So when I say trigger, you know that I'm talking about the trigger. That's what we're looking at right here. This is the typical AR-15 trigger. This may be an old M16 part that I've had for years and years and years. Then next, this is the hammer, and then we've got the disconnector, and this is definitely an old M16 disconnector. It's just been around in my toolbox for years. Most of these parts in most states, it's legal to have them, but it's not legal to have them all in the gun with an auto sear or a gun that's been modified to take an auto sear. That's the other thing. If there are any extra holes drilled in that receiver that you're looking at, you need to find out what those holes are for. Most notably, like in 3/32 hole located directly above the safety on a gun. That should set off an alarm bell if there's an extra hole in that receiver, because that means somebody may have tried to drill it for an auto sear, which may or may not have worked for them, but it doesn't matter. If there's a hole there, that gun, you can't buy it. Anyway, I'll get onto the receiver here in just a second. Okay, so this is our receiver. You can see the hammer right there, and we're gonna back out just a little bit here. Okay, I'm back. So this is our receiver here, and what we've got is obviously you got your safety here, your hammer, trigger. The disconnector actually sits on top of the trigger. There's a little spring that actuates it. So the first thing you want to check whenever you come across any AR-15, or if you've just assembled your own AR-15, is check the safety function. Make sure it works. Cock the hammer fully. Okay, the safety will need to be on, release, but put the safety on. Pull the trigger fully. Obviously, we don't have the upper, but it stands to reason, whenever you get a gun that's brand new, don't get the ammunition anywhere near that gun until you're at the firing range and ready to shoot, and you perform a series of safety checks. So, the gun's on safe there. I'm depressing the trigger fully. Nothing's happening. Okay, when I release the safety, okay, the hammer should not fall or move. So now I'm going to put my finger here just to keep it from beating up the receiver. I pulled the trigger. Now the next series of checks is the trigger's been pulled, the firing pin is on, or the safety is on fire. I'm going to hold the trigger back and push the hammer down. Okay, if it doesn't release, okay, there's a problem. Okay, so you released. Now I'm going to hold the trigger down. There should be a click, and that's the disconnector grabbing the hammer. Now, if I ease that trigger forward very slowly, there should be a little double click, and what that is the disconnector is letting go after the trigger is in place enough to catch the hammer. Once again, we're going to depress the trigger, let the hammer go all the way forward while holding the trigger down, push it back. It should lock back. When you let go of the trigger very gently, it should not fall forward. If there wasn't enough disconnector engagement, when you let that trigger go forward, it'll go forward. It shouldn't do that. Okay? The other thing, make sure that there is no third position, that this safety cannot go up here. If it does, that means you've got a 3-position safety in there and an M16 trigger. A gun like that could double on you if it has an M16 disconnector in it. Make sure about these parts, especially in places like California. You can never be too safe. Anyway, perform those checks every time. And that's it for now.